This is TLC-To-Go.
Okay, welcome back to the deep dive. We're tackling a resource today that feels, well, incredibly timely, especially if you're in health sciences education.
Definitely.
We're plunging into some material from the UTHSC Teaching and Learning Center. You know, that hub specifically geared towards helping faculty like you excel and innovate in teaching.
That's right. The UTHSC TLC, it's a fantastic resource.
Yeah.
And this particular deep dive, it's all about something that's really exploded recently,
Yeah.
using artificial intelligence,
Yeah.
but using it to genuinely support student learning, especially in these demanding health science programs.
Absolutely. The whole landscape is shifting, isn't it? Figuring out how AI fits into training future doctors, nurses, pharmacists, all those roles. It's a huge question right now.
It really is.
So our mission here is pretty straightforward. We want to unpack the key insights, the really practical, actionable tips, and the resources this UTHSC material lays out, especially for health sciences faculty, maybe like you listening, who are probably thinking, okay, AI is here. What now?
Right, how do I actually use this?
Exactly. And the potential impact they talk about in this resource on student understanding, skill building, even things like dealing with performance pressure and anxiety. It's pretty eye-opening stuff.
Yeah, it moves beyond just the abstract idea of AI and gets into the nuts and bolts of how it can actually be a tool for learning, addressing some very real challenges students face in these high-stakes fields.
So let's get right into that core question the resource tackles. Why should health sciences educators even think about using AI tools?
Right, the why.
The material makes a really compelling case. It argues AI isn't just like an add-on. It's actually transforming student learning, making it more personalized, more responsive, and ultimately more engaging.
And what's really helpful is how they break down the types of AI tools relevant here. It's not just one big AI thing.
Okay.
They talk about AI tutors, for instance, tools that can give students instant feedback on complex case studies. Imagine practicing clinical reasoning and getting immediate pointers, anytime.
Yeah, okay, like 204/7 feedback on practice cases.
Exactly. Then there's generative AI, I think Chat GPT and similar tools being used to help scaffold student writing,
Ah, okay.
which is huge for things like patient notes, research papers, maybe even reflective journals, helping them structure their thoughts.
Right, getting started can be tough.
And finally, they mention adaptive quiz systems. These aren't static tests. They actually adjust the difficulty level in real time based on how the student's doing.
So they zero in on weak spots.
Precisely. They really target the areas where a student needs more practice.
That paints a picture of AI providing really diverse kinds of support. It sounds like it's about empowering students more.
I think that's a great way to put it.
Like generating endless practice questions on a specific topic, having that 247 tutor feel, getting help with complex concepts. It really fosters that crucial skill of being a self-directed learner, doesn't it?
Absolutely. AI can empower students in ways that are just, incredibly difficult to replicate at scale with only traditional teaching methods.
Okay, but is there evidence this actually works? Beyond the theoretical potential?
Yeah, and crucially, they back this up. The source material points to findings from studies, particularly on adaptive learning systems, often powered by AI. And some of the outcomes are really significant.
Like what?
Well, get this. Improvements in student test results by up to 62%.
Whoa, wait, 62%. That's not incremental, that's huge.
Right. It's transformative.
How does the source explain that kind of jump, especially in health sciences where it's not just memorization, you need deep understanding application?
That's the key, I think. The material suggests it's that combination of instant, targeted feedback and the ability to practice exactly what you need to practice over and over without judgment.
Okay.
Think about health sciences. Students are just bombarded with information. AI tools, especially adaptive ones, can help cut through that noise. They identify precisely where a student's knowledge gap is and give them practice that directly addresses it. It's like hyper-efficient studying.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. It's not just more practice, it's smarter, personalized practice. What else did they find? Any other numbers?
Yeah, beyond just test results, they point to enhanced overall academic performance, up to 30% improvement.
30% overall.
Yeah. Which suggests the impact goes beyond just exam scores, touches broader success in the course.
And this next one really jumped out at me, given how intense these programs are. Reduced student anxiety by up to 20%.
That's a big one.
These fields are notoriously high pressure, cognitively demanding, let's be honest, they're stressful. A 20% drop in anxiety, that feels like a massive win for student well-being.
It absolutely is. And it makes you ask, why would AI help with anxiety?
Yeah, what's the connection?
The source connects it back to that personalization and accessibility we talked about. Having support 24/7, not just during limited office hours, that can really alleviate stress.
Right, not feeling stuck late at night.
Exactly. Knowing you can check your understanding, get instant feedback on a practice problem, or review a concept when you need to, it provides a kind of safety net. It reduces that feeling of being lost or isolated with difficult material.
So it's that combo. Timely support, tailored to you, available whenever. That helps manage the pressure.
Precisely. And the source links all this back to fostering personalized, self-regulated learning.
Ah, that skill again.
Yeah. AI tools help students identify their own weak spots and choose their own learning paths. This isn't just good for the course, it reinforces that essential skill of self-direction, lifelong learning, which is critical for health professionals, right? They have to keep learning constantly.
Definitely. And it also highlights how AI can offer tailored support for diverse learning needs, including accessibility.
Good point.
By being responsive to individual progress and offering flexible, timely feedback, these technologies help faculty meet varied student needs more effectively. It supports success across different learning approaches. It's like technology augmenting the instructor's ability to give that individualized attention, but at scale, which is often impossible in big classes.
That scalability of personalized support, that's a potential game changer. Faculty just can't give instant custom feedback to every single student on every single practice problem. But AI can.
Okay, you've painted a really compelling picture of why we'd even consider AI in these demanding fields. Better performance, less anxiety, fostering key skills. But the million-dollar question for busy faculty is always how?
Right, the practicalities.
How do we actually bring this into our courses without it becoming, a nightmare or compromising academic integrity?
That's the crucial pivot, isn't it?
Yeah.
And the source material offers some really practical, actionable tips for integration. They move pretty smoothly from the why to concrete steps.
Okay, good. What's step one?
The first tip, and it's really fundamental, provide training and resources for students.
Ah, okay. Don't just throw it at them.
Exactly. You can't just point them to an AI tool and expect them to know how to use it effectively
Yeah.
and responsibly, for deep learning,
Yeah.
not just finding shortcuts. So this means offering tutorials, maybe workshops, or just clear guides on how to use the specific tool you're introducing.
That makes total sense. Like any powerful new tool, lab equipment, software, students need training. What's next?
Building right on that. The second tip is defining clear usage guidelines. This is huge for academic integrity.
Absolute key.
Faculty need explicit policies right in the syllabus about when and how AI tools can be used. Is it okay for brainstorming, for drafting, or only for specific practice assignments? Where's the line?
Setting expectations up front.
Yes. Clarifying that is crucial. And the source even mentions that sample syllabus policy statements on AI are available as a resource.
Oh, that's helpful.
Yeah, it's incredibly helpful because drafting those policies from scratch can feel pretty daunting.
Definitely lowers the barrier for faculty. Okay, so training, clear guidelines. What about actually getting started? Seems intimidating.
Their third tip tackles exactly that. Start small with low-stakes assignments.
Okay, don't dive into the deep end right away.
Right. Don't introduce AI on, say, a major exam or a high-stakes clinical simulation report first time out. Use it in formative assessments, practice quizzes, maybe brainstorming activities.
Places where students can experiment safely.
Exactly. Let them explore the tool's capabilities and its limitations without the pressure of it massively impacting their grade.
So it creates a safe space for them to learn how to sort of partner with the AI, figure out its strengths, weaknesses, understand its role.
Precisely. Fostering that safe experimentation is vital for building their confidence and competence. Now, the fourth tip is closely related and absolutely critical, especially in health sciences where accuracy is non-negotiable.
Okay.
Encourage critical evaluation. Faculty must teach students to critically assess AI-generated content.
Don't just trust it blindly.
Never blindly. It's not just about checking facts, so that's part of it. AI can hallucinate, right? Give info that sounds plausible, but is subtly wrong, or even dangerously wrong, especially with nuanced clinical stuff or fast-changing medical knowledge.
Yeah, that's scary in this context.
So students need to learn to verify information, understand the limitations of these tools. It promotes deeper learning, those analytical skills essential for patient care.
That feels particularly vital in health sciences. Relying on potentially flawed info, not an option in practice. Teaching them to be skeptical and verify AI output. It's almost like teaching a mini version of evidence-based practice, isn't it?
It really is. It's a core part of developing professional judgment in this new AI age. And finally, the fifth tip is about the long game. Monitor and reflect on AI integration.
So it's not set it and forget it.
Definitely not. Faculty should regularly check, how is this AI impacting student learning? Engagement. Get feedback from students. What's working? What's confusing? What are they struggling with? And use that feedback to refine your approach over time. Make sure the AI is genuinely helping you achieve your educational goals, not accidentally hindering them.
So it's an iterative process. Try something, see how it goes, get feedback, adjust. That makes sense. These 5 tips, training guidelines, start small, critical evaluation, monitor and reflect, they provide a really solid, practical roadmap.
Yeah, for faculty who might feel a bit overwhelmed but want to explore how AI can actually enhance their teaching and their students' learning, it breaks it down into manageable steps.
Okay. And for those listening who want to dive even deeper after this overview, the source material also points towards some excellent resources for further exploration, right?
It does. They list some external resources. First, teaching guides focused on generative AI from well-regarded places like Cornell, Stanford, University of Pittsburgh. And that Pittsburgh resource is specifically noted for focusing on creating more accessible learning experiences with AI, which is a really important angle.
That's a great point. Accessing guides from other universities gives broader perspectives, too.
Definitely. See different approaches.
Yeah.
But importantly, the source also points directly to internal UTHSC TLC resources.
Okay, specific to UTHSC.
Yes. They mention past webinars that sound incredibly relevant, like one called Teaching and Thinking with AI.
Nice title.
And another titled Teaching with AI, Friend, Foe, Frenemy. Those titles alone suggest they're tackling the core questions, maybe even the anxieties faculty might have.
Yeah, sounds like they get right to the heart of it. Probably a great next step for faculty within the UTHSC system.
I would think so.
Okay.
And of course, they highlight those sample course syllabus policy statements on AI again here.
Right, reinforcing their value.
Having those ready-to-use templates is just such a practical help when you're starting out.
So, wow, we really covered a lot of ground here. The powerful potential of AI in health sciences education, drilling down into the evidence, those striking numbers, walking through those actionable tips for integrating it thoughtfully, and pointing towards resources.
Yeah, it's clear that while AI definitely presents challenges, it also offers really powerful new ways to support student learning, especially in fields like health sciences that demand such deep, applied understanding, clinical reasoning, managing tons of complex info.
Which kind of leaves us with a final thought to ponder, building on everything we've discussed from this UTHSC resource.
Okay.
If these AI tools can truly offer personalized, always-on support, if they can empower students to become more independent, self-directed learners, getting endless practice and instant feedback, how might the very role of the health sciences educator need to evolve?
Interesting question.
Maybe less as the primary dispenser of information which students can now access and interact with via AI, and more as a skilled guide.
A guide.
Yeah, someone who teaches students how to navigate this new landscape, how to critically evaluate AI output, how to ask the right questions, how to integrate AI-assisted learning into developing that nuanced judgment, that clinical wisdom, the stuff AI can't replicate on its own.
That's a fundamental shift to think about, isn't it? From just content delivery to guiding knowledge navigation and critical application in a world augmented by AI.
Yeah, something significant to think about as you explore integrating these tools. Well, thank you for joining us for this deep dive into leveraging AI for student learning and health sciences education, based on those insights from the UTHSC Teaching and Learning Center resource. We really hope this has given you some valuable insights and practical ideas.
And we definitely encourage you to explore those specific UTHSC and external resources mentioned in the source material if you want to delve further into actually implementing these ideas in your own courses.
Absolutely. Join us again soon for another deep dive into valuable resources that can help you navigate complex information and stay well informed.